Hey there. Okay, so I'm back, part 2, and this part is a short part, but I wanted to touch on a few ways that you can also increase engagement in your challenge group. So what my team started to do, and this was again taken from somebody else that was generous at Summit to share a couple of years ago, but is a happy post. So HAPPY is an acronym that stands for hydration, activity, plate, plan, and you. Hydration is how much water you're getting every day. Activity is what workout did you do. Plate is what did you have on your plate that day, so what did you eat, and I would always look for their Shakeology there. And then their plan, what is their plan for their meals the following day, and then you, what did they do kind for themselves to recharge that day. Another fun option for an acronym that is a slightly simpler way of doing it is WIN, which is workout, inspiration, and nutrition. And I think that one's a great one. The other thing I believe that Melanie Mitro does is she will have them rate on a scale of 1 to 5. And of course, you can do it your own way, but she'll have them rate their workout, their nutrition, and then whether or not they got their Shakeology in that day. So whatever works for you. The main thing, though, that I think is important is that you have some structure, and structure will lead people to success, and setting that expectation, and again, making sure that you are doing exactly whatever you're expecting of them is the most important piece. Group types. I want to discuss what kind of types of groups are we talking about creating success stories in. Now, of course, you've got a free group. There are also groups that may be free but offer the option for Shakeology in a 5 or 7 day or whatever like that. And of course, there's a huge range of free groups. I think one tip that I've gotten is that I think is really valuable is instead of doing the same free group forever, think about switching it up. Think about the season, think about people's lifestyles, think about what they're going through currently or that's going to be coming up that would impact them, and then base a group around that. And that is really being timely and relevant, which is important. There are also, I think to me, the age-old question with coaches is, what kind of groups are you running? Do you start a new one every 2 weeks? Do you start one every month? Do you have one big revolving group, or do you have a VIP group? And there are so many options, and I don't know that any one of them is correct and hugely successful over any other method. So it may end up being something where you have to experiment and see what you like the best and what your challengers respond to. For myself, I found that as a leader, I was starting to run so many groups. You know, first it was a push to Emerald, and then I was doing an opportunity call, and then I was doing a sneak peek, and then I was doing this and that. And so for me to start 2 groups every month and then completely clean out those groups and start another one, and then have a VIP group where people graduate my challenge group and go over to that group, it was too much for my brain to handle, and I was not very mentally present in any of my groups. So the most important thing is that you are mentally engaged and present doing that and being a real participant in your group, which also means we need to be committed to a program and in it, right? We've got to be in it. And we are in this. Most of us started so that it would impact our own results and our health and continue that forward. So take that to heart. If it is too much for you to handle starting 2 groups a month, then don't start 2 groups a month. What I've ended up deciding is right for me at this time in my life is that I have one group, and that is what I call a revolving group. And any of my customers, past or present, or my coaches are welcome in that group. If they want to be actively engaged during that month, that's fine, and I would support that. And if they want me to check in with them on a daily basis, I'm there to do that. At the same time, there are those of us, and especially our customers, that life circumstances has it that being a daily participant in a challenge group is not a very good time for them. But I've had people come back to me and say, thank you so much for not kicking me out of the group, because I really was able to stay inspired by reading the posts, and maybe I only had time to like one post every once in a while, but it helped me keep going, and now I'm back. So that may be worth it to you to allow people into the group that are either customers or non-customers, whatever, that are not actively engaged, which I prefer. Obviously, we as coaches prefer that every single member of our group is posting every single day and they're in it 100%. And unfortunately, typically that is not the case. Now, what I do for the most part is that since I'm running one revolving group, it is essentially a multi-program group, even if somebody's just starting on Shakeology. And then if I do have a product launch coming out like Masters Hammer and Chisel, typically then at that point, our team will have enough excitement and participants around that very one workout that we will form a test group specifically for that workout. And it will have a start date and an end date. But past that, for me, the revolving group works the best with multi-program. The other thing is when you are promoting a challenge group, always make sure that you are stressing the importance of the nutrition and not just being program focused. There is also a couple of different trains of thoughts surrounding how you promote challenge groups. There are a lot of coaches who simply promote a challenge group, so something kind of broad. Then there are coaches who will promote something very specific, and they have 2 programs or something that they're completely passionate about. Here's the bottom line. Whatever you are promoting, whatever you are inviting to, you need to be excited about it yourself, because that is going to shine through with your invites, with your posts, and when you're not excited about it, it's going to show through as well. So make sure that you are excited and believe wholeheartedly in the group that you're getting ready to invite to. Okay, so then another question that I get asked a lot is, should I allow people who have not ordered Shakeology into my challenge group? That is up to you, but some top coaches do, some top coaches don't. And again, it's your business, it's your decision, and go with your gut on that. Personally, I find that my time is extremely valuable, and I want to make sure that I honor my time and my family's time, so I require that they are on Shakeology. If they have old Shakeology and they're not purchasing it from me, as long as they've got the tools to succeed, I'm good with that. And I'll let them know it's not about the purchase, it's about making sure that you have the tools that you need to succeed. So if that means that they've borrowed a neighbor's workout and they're doing that, and then they had leftover Shakeology from 6 months ago, go ahead. As long as you've got what you need, I'm good with that. So that is the way that I run it. I also find that there are orphans out there who will come to me and say, I've got this program, I really don't know what I'm doing, and they want support, they want help. So I do choose to meet them where they're at. I invite them to try Shakeology and let them know the value in that, and then typically they will try Shakeology because I set that expectation that everybody in the group is using it because it's that important. And then on the flip side, there will be some people who have Shakeology but no workout program. Now, if that's the case, then I would either hook them up with a product or have them go on Beachbody on demand or something of that nature. So the only time that I really just come on in, like welcome people in and they're not on Shakeology truly, is if they have a legitimate allergy. There are going to be those people, and now quite honestly, I'm still super excited to work with them. Obviously, I'm excited either way, but now even on the income side, because we can really add nutritional value to those people between the boost products. So say somebody's allergic to an ingredient that we have in Shakeology, they can still very likely put together Power Greens and Digestive Health and have a really big nutritional impact than not using any of our products at all. So that may be a slightly off track, but I wanted to make sure that I touched on that because it is very much attached to challenge groups, and I typically get those kinds of questions. So that being said, I hope that you have enjoyed and gotten a lot of value out of this, and most importantly, don't feel overwhelmed. Know that People will quit no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work at this. There are going to be people who are not engaged. There will be groups that are just like are crickets and killing you. And then there are going to be groups that are great. And it's just a matter of what personalities that come into the group and the readiness of those participants. So keep doing what you're doing. Know that you are doing it well and you're adding a lot of value to people. And then just pick one or two things to try and implement. Get a feel for it, see how it works for you, and then move on from there. Don't feel like you need to implement everything at one time. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.